What is up, YouTube and all my fish keeping friends? How is everybody doing out there in fish tank land? I don't know if you guys can see me. All of a sudden, Streamlabs has changed. YouTube is changing every day. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just trying to keep up. Somebody in the chat, please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, if I'm broadcasting across the internet. Boy, there's a whole bunch of people in the chat, and for the first time ever, my chat is working in OBS. OBS did some update. YouTube is doing some crazy stuff, and that's what we're talking about today. I guess I'm trying to get into it a little bit because I feel like it's important. I feel like some people really want to know about Coppa. I don't think a lot of people really know what Coppa is. Coppa is the Children's Online Privacy and Protection Act. It originally was created in 1998. I've been trying to figure it all out, trying to read as much of it as I can just to understand it. But I think people need to relax. For one, this is not a fear-mongering video. I'm not like gonna trying to stress anybody out. I think that a lot of people are just kind of curious as to what's really going on. I think the main goals here is that kids are, we're trying to protect kids, which is classified with the FTC as someone under the age of 13. If you don't know what the FTC is, it's the Federal Trade Commission. There's a lot of people involved. We've got so many people involved in this. I just feel like a couple of people I've talked to lately, they're like, "What's Coppa? Coppa what? What?" If you guys basically, I think okay, YouTube messed up. That's what it comes down to. YouTube messed up. They've been, they're not guarding and protecting the information the way they're supposed to and protecting children's information. And the FTC finally got them, finally put them on the spot, and they had to settle. It wasn't like a lawsuit, but YouTube settled, and they said they were going to change things and reorganize the way things are going. If you guys have looked into your settings and stuff within YouTube, you see that there's new options, and you have to clarify whether or not each individual piece of content is for children or for kids, which is under 13 years of age, or for adults, which on the platform at this point is 13 years of age and up. There's a lot going on. I mean, in the end, the FTC is really just trying to protect children. A lot of children advocacy groups have come to the FCC and shown them evidence that YouTube has been sharing children's information with advertisers and things like that. YouTube Kids is a totally different platform, and I think that that's what really is going on here. I think people can relax a little bit. I mean, you do have to be responsible for the content that you're making and market properly. But I think people really don't understand. Honestly, and if you have a big channel, if you're actually really worried, you should, for one, have a lawyer. You should have an attorney. You should also read all of the laws, all of the rulings from the FCC, and you can see that there's actually room. There is a middle ground. The FCC understands that there are channels that have both children's content. Every once in a while, they do something a little bit more related to a child, like us fish keepers. Most of our content is adult content, but every once in a while, we do stuff that kind of could relate to, someone under the age of 13 could enjoy watching it. And my content has always been 100% family friendly, just to protect myself from stuff like this on the platform. I knew stuff like this was going to come. That's why I've never consumed an alcohol. I think I've cussed once in a live stream that I can remember, maybe twice in a live stream. I bleeped out 2 cuss words in like 2 different videos, and that's it. Like, I know on one hand how many things I've done that are risque because I just want to keep myself clean and protect myself. But in the end, this is all really to protect children from nasty, bad people out there, and I think people need to realize that. And then on the other hand, you have YouTube, which YouTube would not survive without advertising, and that's where YouTube has failed. YouTube, honestly, is not to point fingers, but honestly, they are the ones that have made the mistake. They disregarded the rulings made in 1998 in certain respects, and some information was still leaking out. Children's information was leaking out through the platform, especially with people that are not signed in and things like that into the platform at the moment. So YouTube has messed up, and in the end, they've had to settle, and this is a quick fix right now. Honestly, this is a quick fix because we all know that it's too broad of a thing, too vague to say, is this content for 13 year old younger or for 13 and up? I mean, to a certain extent, I mean, you look at even some of our fish keep. We have Caleb Aquatics. He's 13 years old. I mean, what would be the difference of him making content? I mean, it's just, or him hanging out with us or trying to do a live stream with him. That seems almost risque. And it's unfortunate that it has to be like that. But in the end, like I said, we're trying to protect the kids. There was one thing that I had read, 2016, 73% of kids 18 to 11 were watching YouTube regularly. So, it obviously, these children advocacy groups, they've known and realized what's going on, and that, there are children out there that do need to be protected. I think in the end, I really just want to say that I want to jump on this subject. I'm not even saying hide anything in the chat because I just want to get this out. I see there's so many awesome people in here, but I just want to get this out of my system, and then I want to hang out with you guys. I want to talk about fish. I don't want this whole stream to be about this. Just so you guys know, that's why I'm just going straight forward on this stuff right now. I just think it's important that people realize that, just to relax. If you have a big channel, you should have a lawyer because you have a business behind it. Everything that you could risk, the FTC, if they're going to sue you, they're not just going to cancel your YouTube channel. They're going to take your money, and they're going to take your house, and they're going to take your car. They're going to do all that too. That's what the FTC does. So yeah, it's one thing to be cautious and to be educated. And that's why I'm saying this right now, because I feel like no other big YouTubers, nobody's going to talk about this. I can at least share what my knowledge and what I've learned about it. And I think the real key in the end here, YouTube needs to perfect their age gate, because in the end, YouTube is really the one that has said all of a sudden that we as the content creators are the one liable, and that in the end they should be liable to a certain extent because they make a lot of money off of us as well. So they do have an age gate. Google has an age gate, but I think that there's too many loopholes in it in a certain way, and I feel like that's going to be what has to happen. I think all this stuff is going to get revised. A lot of people have signed the petitions that are out there and stuff like that, and sending comments. You can go to the FCC. I'm not putting links to any of this stuff. Like I said, I want to stop talking about this in about 5 more minutes. So all of this, there's stuff going on. In the end, these rulings they're not stuck yet. They're still taking in comments, and they're still listening to people, to be honest. I think it's until like December 15th or 9th or the 15th or something is when like the deadline is for comments to the FTC, not the FCC. So the things are going to get changed. I'm sure eventually YouTube's going to change it so that there's not just 2 groups, either 13 years and younger or for 13 years and older. They're eventually going to have to organize and change up like their advertising brackets and change up their age gates so that there's like a middle ground. There needs to be a spot for a mixed kind of general audience, and that's where once again YouTube is failing, because they should be the ones. They need to get this figured out. It's not on the FTC. The FTC actually, if you have to go read their regulations, they actually do have some stipulations in there, and they do recognize that there are creators, there are people creating and influencers out there making content for a mixed kind of group. And if your channel is a mixed group, you make one kid's video, you're not going to just get, your whole channel's not going to get nailed because you made a kid's video or something. There is room for that within the FTC. They understand that, and that's all going to get revised again and again. Unfortunately, you have to keep in mind that this Coppa Act, it's only revised every 10 years, and they've actually sped up the revision and did it a little early this time around because of YouTube. I just want to get this all handled and taken care of. So things are happening really quick on YouTube. You've seen that a lot of things with the platform have been changing, and also the algorithm too, which is really crazy. So I know a lot of big content creators, larger content creators, older content creators, but younger content creators are all seeing swings in their views and stuff, and a lot of that is in regards to them kind of like doing a sweep. So YouTube's going to do their sweep pretty much up until like the end of the year. And then after that, I think it's December 19th or something, they're going to start doing the FTC will start doing their thing, and then the FTC can do their sweep. Other government organizations and other advocacy groups do their sweeps too, look for information. So it's, YouTube's on the hot seat, and this is a quick fix right now. So I feel like everybody should relax a little bit, but just know your content, know what you're doing. I mean, if you're here, just have to be responsible for what you're doing. And then in the end, if you're not taking responsibility, if you're in here making content, and you're not being responsible for what you're doing, you're kind of, in some cases, you do deserve what you get. I mean, like I said, the biggest hit's going to be some of these these kids channels that are actually freaking out right now and doing stupid things like deleting a bunch of videos, changing a bunch of things right off the bat without giving a chance for YouTube to give them a revision, give them a warning, say something to them. Because YouTube's going to do their sweep, and they're going to give some warnings before the FTC gets to you. You should be getting some stuff from YouTube. YouTube should take a little bit of responsibility for us, and I think they will in the future. They're going to give us some warnings and things. I feel like I don't know. I think some people need to like relax a little bit about it in the end. And if you really want to know about it, read the FTC, the ruling, and read the Coppa Act, and also read all of the terms of service for YouTube, because it's all in there, and it's not that hard to understand. Most of us should not worry. In the fish keeping community, we should mark your channel as an adult channel, and every once in a while if you make a video that's like I do a SpongeBob SquarePants like aquascape tank, right? Okay, maybe you should probably tag that as a kid's channel just to protect yourself in that situation. Bam, done, taken care of. And I feel like there's going to be a situation where if something gets flagged, you're not just going to get automatically sued for $42,000. There's going to be some room to warn you, just like YouTube has always given you like you don't just have your channel completely demonetized and ruined just because you make one mistake. I mean, I've made a couple little mistakes, and then they go away after 60 days, and you're back to a clean slate. Anyways, I don't want to talk about this stuff anymore. I wanted to talk about it, but I don't want to get into it too much. I think that it's important for people to realize that there is something to be taken care of. If you have a channel and you're making content on the regular basis, you definitely need to go through there and take some consideration into your into what your content is, and if your channel needs, you have to make that setting anyways. You should go in there and change that. Click the little box that you're an adult channel. Unless you're truly a kids channel, you should not be hitting that, because honestly, Coppa is going to be going for those channels that are marked as 8. That's what they're going after first. They're not going after all of YouTube, like to just hit every adult channel that has a cartoon character in it. Once in a blue moon or something. I think it's not gonna be that bad. All right. The ramble is strong today. Yes, it is. I'm done. I'm with you guys. So there's a lot of crazy stuff that's happened here at home. I don't know how loud my mic is. Everybody's up in here. What's up, Rack? How are you? The ramble is strong. I just watched too many videos about this, and I started reading the actual FTC rulings, and then I was like, I don't have to worry about this. Everybody needs to just relax. Be responsible content creators. Just like being a good human. If you're doing good and you're not doing anything malicious, you're gonna be pretty. You're okay. You're okay. You got nothing to stress. Anyways, it's awesome to see everybody up in here. Science Gal Aquatics, how are you, Carrie? Susie, how are you? Good to see you here. Pusa Studios up in the house too. Here I go. Cheers. What's up, man? I'll let you guys talk about Coppa. How about that? I'll leave that up to Pusa Studios. This should be your thing, really. I need to talk about fish because I do. Anyways, it's so awesome to see everybody up in here. I've been really excited with my blue tetras. Everything's been getting nutty with the blue tetras. You can see them there real quick for a second. You see that they got babies all over the place. I got fry all over the place of all sizes. Just evidence that these nano tetras are community breeding. They don't necessarily spawn. The females are the larger ones, and I'm sorry, the males are the larger fish. I was always thought that the females were the larger of the two. but the larger, rounder fish are the males, and the smaller adult fish there are the females. Anyways, but this tank is full of fry. It's a really, I have 3 tanks going like this right now, and I'm super excited about it. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of all these goofy notes, and we're done. So, let's see what's going on in my world. Besides the fact that I'm making major plans to relocate at this point in time, I am looking at making my way up to Vermont. Me and Amber, audio is good. Amber says it's loud enough. Me and Amber have been, we have not, we have got a house going on. There's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. One of the owners at one point was a fish keeper, so the basement is already like pretty much set up to be a fish room. A couple little bit of modifications, but it is perfect fish room. And there's a few rooms in the house that are perfect fish rooms, so that's pretty exciting. I'm not going to get into too much detail about that, but that's definitely on the top of my head right now, and just thinking how I'm gonna like liquidate everything that I own and relocate all my fish or rehome all my fish and all those goodies. Those fry in that picture, Mike, these fish, the eggs hatch within 24 hours, and I got fry in there all the time. There's all different sizes in there. I mean, there are 2-3-day-old, 1-week-old fry in there. It's a community, a complete community. So I can really, at this point, I've been able to set up a tank now with 2 males, 2 females, and just start a whole new colony because they breed so well for me. And so that's what I'm starting to do. Now, this is a 10-gallon aquarium, and in the end, there's so much hornwort in there, and then that gate that I put in there, that little baffle, and they all stay within like 1/3 of that tank, really. So I could probably breed these fish in a 5-gallon aquarium easy, or less. I could put them in a 2.5-gallon, 3-gallon little aquarium, a trio, maybe a male, 2 females, and bam, I'm pretty sure that's like one of my little tests I want to try to do with them, see if I can accomplish that. Yes, the pothos, Dan Slee and the pothos. Yeah, Amber and the pothos, man. There'll be plenty of room for pothos. I don't want to get into too much details about the house right now. I'm just kind of like, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to being with Amber. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to being in the mainland too, and just honestly, just to experience all the seasons again. I've been living in like one season for 20 years almost. And a chunk of my childhood. I also, killing me, really. This is so frustrating. The chat is so frustrating, and OBS is getting frustrating. I'm trying not to get frustrated, but I'm missing some of the chat here because of the chat box is messing with me. Anyways, I need to relax. I was stressing out today, running around, trying to make some stuff happen. One of the things that happened to me this weekend is I've been on a rampage killing a little family of mice that I think there's actually where they were living down underneath on the bottom of this rack down here. There's a little space underneath those 2 bottom tanks, and I think there was a little nest. I think I can't see, so I'm not sure. But I've had a whole slew of airlines that have been chewed through. They have I have killed 3 mice, and I hope that that's the end of it. But I have lost so much airline, and over this weekend I don't know if they just came into the house and all of a sudden, and then they had this thing for rubber hose line for like it. Anyways. It seems like they like the silicone airline better. That's what I've noticed. They seem to enjoy that more. But I've literally woken up like 3 mornings in a row, and that's why I was like, I'm done. I'm over it. Hearing a hissing noise and finding, not even a bite, just a little puncture wound where you couldn't even tell. It's not like there was a piece of the hose missing, the line missing. They just bit into it and probably got a little hiss of air in their face and then took off. But they still put a hole in it, and it affects the whole system. Anyways, that's been one thing. I got a spider bite on my back. That's another crazy, just completely unfish related thing that is, I think it's maybe a brown recluse. I'm not sure, but I'm just treating it with tea tree oil because that's what I've always done. It's a really good natural antiseptic, and I think it's Mellifix is pretty much just that's Melaleuca oil, tea tree oil. Anyways, but I put some tea tree oil on it, and I'm just dealing with it. I think it's gonna be fine as long as I make sure it doesn't get infected. We have a lot of tropical spiders down here that they're necrotic spiders, like a brown recluse. So they, if you get bit by them, it'll get more infected and kind of get necrotic. It'll start to spread a little bit. But the real problem with getting a spider bite like that, and I've literally lost friends on this island due to spider bites. And it wasn't to the spider bite, it was to the secondary infection of MRSA and staph infection. Well, they get staph first or something like that, and then it evolves into MRSA, or they get some form of MRSA. You can either get it from the ocean here, you can get it in many different ways, and especially in a really humid tropical environment, and you could literally die from a spider bite. So in the Caribbean, I definitely, or I think anywhere, you should definitely take spider bites, especially necrotic spider bites, serious, and make sure that you're at least treating them with some kind of an oil or some kind of antiseptic or something to make sure that you don't get a secondary infection from the necrotic kind of stuff from the spider. Anyways, nasty stuff. But anyways, I'm gonna take care of it. It's gonna be fine. But I have lost probably 3 friends from necrotic, well, from MRSA, but it started with getting a spider bite. It's usually, everybody think it's a brown recluse here, but it's actually, we have the yellow or black-footed yellow sac spider, which is people call it the banana spider. It's looks like a wolf spider, but it's got more blonde, yellowish blonde hair, and then obviously the little tips of its feet are little black feet on it or whatnot. But yeah, it just gives a nice necrotic bite that is gonna get like nasty. What's up? I'm getting blown up. What did I do wrong? What am I doing wrong? Did I get a text? It's an Instagram notification. Okay. When my phone goes off in the middle of a stream, I figure I have done something wrong. It's vibrating again. I'm not even going to look at it. Let's see. Tampa Tom is up in here. Everybody's up in here. I'm totally just... I am reading some of the chat over here. I've kind of lost my mind this weekend thinking about moving. It's hard for me. I want to make more content, and I have stuff to make content about. Don't worry. And I'm filming over the weekends. Every weekend I try to film. But I'm just thinking about breaking down tanks now, which is a weird space to be in. I'm not trying to think about breaking it all down right now, but I feel like a little bit. The sooner I get on some of that stuff, the sooner I can get out of here. The sooner I can get closer to Amber, and we can play with some fish together. That diver is spider bite. I'm gonna be all right. No worries on the spider bites. Let's see what was going on. Is this a fish channel? Mr. V. Oh boy. No, I'll have to say these last few trips have been really, really awesome. It's definitely one of the. Obviously, Amber is a factor of me wanting to come back to the States. A major player. But getting to be around fish keeping communities, being able to just go to fish stores or even go to Petco's. You guys can hate me for that, but I mean, even just to go to a Petco, period, just to have a, I don't have any of it. I don't have any of it. So it's really, the idea of being back in the States and actually being able to go easily get to some of these fish club meetings and really get involved and actually be able to share my fish with people a little bit more easily, a lot more easily. That is a major player as well. And it was just really nice to make friends in my last couple of trips to the States, and it just kind of solidified the whole thing, especially this last trip to San Francisco. To me, honestly, to a certain extent, just solidified how much I really miss being back in a place with just a larger population of people, and it is awesome to be able to road trip. I grew up road tripping when I was a kid, and being down on the island, I guess away from that completely, I haven't. I was almost scared to be on the interstate with Amber, but the more that I do it, I'm sure I'll get over it. I mean, I used to drive the interstate to work every morning at about 90 miles an hour. So I mean, it's just funny being here for so long. I've kind of been removed from that for a long while. But it'd be nice to get back to some of that. Papa Harden, Dad, what's up, man? He's up in the house. How are you? Hope you're doing something with those tanks in the living room. Get a freshwater tank going on. You just gotta hustle on it. I say I don't know. Yeah, and I'll send you plants. I'll send you a bunch of plants in the mail, but you gotta I gotta see water in the tank and substrate, and then I'll send plants. I need to see a light on top of it. Dan Slee, my goal is tomorrow morning. I guess I'm sending out some shrimp. I'm gonna get crazy on that tomorrow. I got to send out some shrimp, and I should probably try to send out a group of guppies out to Amber anyways, just to see if we can make that happen. These guppies, I'm keeping it at 72 degrees now. They can handle cooler temperatures rather than most of my fish could handle being shipped in the wintertime or in a colder weather more easily than the hot weather, just because I keep all my tanks at about 72.5 degrees. What am I doing? What happened? How do you move off an island? Sell everything and yeah, I'm gonna. The tanks are even. It's such a small island. The tanks are gonna be the hardest thing to get rid of. I mean, I'm gonna sell some kits or even give them away to. I'm gonna definitely give a couple away to like some teachers if they say yes. They're more than welcome to have them. Here you go, and I'll hook them up with plants and stuff. I have 2 other people that want tanks, so that's like 4 tanks out of 18 glass aquariums that I got going on right now, and then all the fish will make it up there. Amber's gonna have a chance to get some stuff set up, some racks running in the new place or whatnot, and I'll be able to send her off stuff that way. Why my phone is blowing up? What am I doing? What am I in trouble for? I'm going to sell not the fish. I don't have much to sell. Candy. I'm going to take the fish are going to get sent up there. I'm going to send the plants up, and then I'm going to send the fish up after that. So Amber will have the opportunity to plant tanks. Tanks will kind of cycle a little bit more at that point, and then within a week or 2 of that, then the fish will make their way up there. It'll work out well. Oh, cool. My dad did a wedding yesterday. He's a ordained minister, whatnot. So he did a wedding yesterday. Interesting. Very cool. So let's see. Yeah, I'm going to send stuff up there slowly. A lot of my lab equipment is important. My fish-related stuff is important. My computers are important to go up. But I don't have, like, normal household stuff. My friends are like, oh, so you got a coffee table? You got, like, a couch? And I'm like... No. Like, I've got like this end table back here that this 29-gallon bow face is on. Maybe somebody wants that. I can get maybe 25, $30. There you go. It's got a stone top on it and it's wood. It's nice. Anyway, that's about it. I got this folding table. My desk is actually like a Rubbermaid folding table. I'm sure somebody will take that. Um, you know, there's a handful of things. I got lots of different. Got some wood shelves, plastic shelves, metal shelves. That stuff. Maybe someone will take this whole rack setup. Maybe I get someone that just like inspiring to have, you know, MTA and maybe or MTS anyways, and they can buy the whole deal they want. Maybe all 4 tanks and the whole rack and go with it. That would be, well, I'm going to try to do that. See if I can get rid of that all as one piece. But I don't know. For me, the important things are the fish and my computer equipment to continue doing what I do. My lab equipment, I'm not getting rid of my microscope or any of my stuff that my fish related lab equipment and stuff. I have a handful of nice books and some art supplies. I got some paintball gear I need to sell to somebody if somebody wants paintball gear. Yeah, Amber, you could share this space. We could figure. Wait, I can't believe you're publicly sharing your anxieties of that right now. But yes, it'll work out. It'll work out, Amber. We'll make it work out. If we can get past air, then we're good. Just having an airline on the ceiling is all I want. Oh boy. It's so good to see everybody up in here. I'm sorry, I'm just rambling today. It's been I woke up to that again this morning. I woke up to the hissing of an airline, and I did find a couple little furry companion little guys that are no longer with us. So I feel a little bit better. I don't want to see anything die, really, but I'm a little tired of replacing airlines. And at this point, like, I've set traps everywhere, and it's just war at this point because I want to replace all these airlines completely. Half of my fish room right now, I haven't even put air back on it because it's safe not to do that. And I'm just like, let's just see how this goes. So we got a little bit of an experiment going on. Right now, these blue tetras, there's nothing going on in this tank. There's no air, no filtration. These fish prefer that, honestly. And when it comes to breeding them, this is really the better situation for them. A little bit of filtration, I feel sometimes can be helpful, especially, say, in fry tanks where you're trying to reduce all the solids in the water, all the different things floating around in the water. Just kind of keep the water a little bit polished. I think that sponge filters have a purpose in that. But yeah, I think in a lot of cases, especially most nano tropical aquarium, like ornamental aquarium fish, most of these smaller fish, they probably prefer, a much calmer, quieter environment in the end. Especially if you're trying to get them to breed, I think. Oh yeah, the OCA, that was wait, who had blue tetras? I gotta get somebody's name because I just want to share. It's more about sharing genetics, right? Oh, it'd be really cool, Mike, if you got somebody's a name of somebody, a contact with whoever had the blue tetras, because there's a difference between blue tetra, like were they actually Titocharax tambopatensis, or were they there is another, like a blue neon, right? And then there is another, like a blue tetra that's different than this. So I don't know. I'm not sure if they were the same thing as this, but if that would be really cool. Daryl Deemer, thank you for the $10 super chat for the move. Whew, for the move. Oh boy, I've been looking at. My goal is to get black Rubbermaid totes. You know, the ones that people they use for all kinds of stuff. People even grow out fish in them, but they've got the yellow lid, the black tub with the yellow top. From like Home Depot. I want to get those, and they have the holes in the sides already where you can zip tie them up, and I pretty much want to just organize all of my personal effects and everything in those totes. What I deem worth spending the money to have it shipped to the United States, and and get that all organized and literally just very stackable. And I just have to basically do a full inventory of my life right now, which is not a bad thing to do. I think it's a very healthy thing to to do. You know, call it some deep cleaning. Let's see. It wasn't the neon type, huh? Yeah, no, there's definitely there's a couple other different kinds of like blue tetras, um, but it would be really awesome to hook up with somebody else that is also breeding this species. It would be really nice just to know that truly that someone else is breeding this Titocharax, because and getting it out to the hobby. Like if it's at the swap, that's awesome, because it's just be nice to know that there's some more other work being done on it too. Yeah. It's like it would be really cool to share. It'd be cool to like swap fish, just to trade some genetics, just because I'm big about that. Aquafunk is on in 25 minutes, so it looks like we got Aquafunk going on, and then Susie Q Aquatics. She's gonna be doing her stream as well at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time after Aquafunk, and then it looks like King and Queen cichlids are taking the night off tonight, so no King and Queen cichlids tonight, but they will be back next Sunday. So, yeah. Let's see what else is going on in here. I do have to finish editing this video on my least killy fish. I'm really excited about those guys. I didn't see Jeremy up in here today, but I got those from Jeremy Morel when we were in San Francisco. It was really nice to get those are really awesome. And they're in a 1.5 gallon aquarium with some subwassertang and some stargrass, and no filtration, no nothing. I mean, they're good. They're happy. I've been feeding them live baby brine shrimp, and then I have tetracolored tropical granules and a black pepper grinder, one of them little push button black pepper grinders, and I can just give it one little push, and that's good for like the 12 or 13 of those little tiny fish. They're smaller than these guys. I really want to I don't want to like show them off until I've made the video. I'm holding back. Yeah, no king and queen tonight for sure. Anyway, so yeah, I'm definitely doing some deep cleaning today. I started it today, really. I had to work yesterday, so I am back to my regular job as a booking agent. Monday through Friday, really, and I'm also doing content creation still for 2 different websites and 2 different Facebook pages that are not mine, and then that's pretty much my day job right now. And then on the weekends I do like plumbing jobs. Usually on Saturday I'll do a little plumbing job, and then if I don't have anything on the weekends, that's when I try to go hiking. I'm trying to get out every weekend that I can and go into the freshwater guts. I've been linking up with some professors here and some other students of the university as well, and trying to organize some little walks through the guts. And then another really cool thing, this is something that is really awesome, and it kind of pertains to, like, for me, my YouTube channel is an adult channel, and I mean, it's family friendly. I consider myself general content, which they should eventually have that box, but I'm not really gonna try to aim towards children when it comes to YouTube, like under 13, to kids. But in real life, most definitely. I've been getting opportunities lately to work with young people to do like some little educational programs. I would love to do that stuff. I'd really love to do that stuff like with Amber as well, because she does also have experience with that, and I think she's just awesome at it. But even here recently, the national park, we have an organization, a nonprofit organization called the Friends of the Park, which supports the park and helps raise some funding for the park. And they do something called Kids in the Park. And it's like field trips and workshops and classes and stuff for school groups. Some of it's within the park and stuff like that. So I'd actually have the opportunity to literally get permissions, which is like federal permissions to be able to do this kind of, but to like be able to do projects where I could go with the kids into the gut, like you see in my videos, and go like catch fish and shrimp and put them into little containers or whatever and pass it around. Let the kids be able to look at this stuff. Maybe create some kind of a workshop with some worksheets, and they get to do some like testing of water parameters and put them off in little groups and like their little teams or whatever. And I don't know. I see some really cool ideas, but they literally, someone with the park that is heading up this program came to me and asked me. I did not go to them, and that's what was really cool too, is that they actually thought of me as some, green mohawk and all. They thought of putting me in front of kids. Can you guys believe that? So, I think it's really awesome though. It would be really, it's really awesome to see young people light up, to see kids light up to life science and to nature, and it gives me hope when I see that. It gives me hope in humanity that maybe some of these kids will continue to have respect for our planet, and protect it, because I do believe that we human beings are the protectors of the planet. I do totally believe that. We've been given this our mentality and our IQ and our opposable thumb for a good reason, and I feel like we do have a responsibility, especially with the damage we've done to it, to protect our planet and everything on it. So I don't know. Off on the ramble today, having a good time. Let's see. Everybody's chatting amongst themselves. William Jansen and Amber talking about everything. Let's see. No guest room. We have, see, am I getting into details? We have office spaces, like a production studio space, which would be my office, would still be more of a film set stage, kind of like my house is now. Honestly, I feel like I live in, it's a real fish studio. I live in a fish studio. I have, at least for the last couple of years, with or without my ex being here. I've been, but at this point now, that's all it is. It's a production. It's my desk here, my production desk, and aquariums. But it'd be really nice to get to separate those two a little bit. Have some tanks like in an office space where I can do certain kind of filming and stuff like that. But it's nice to keep all of the fish kind of in their own spaces, because I think it's really important when you're really getting into lots of different species. You have to have like a cold room. You have to have different climates, really, and kind of break things up and organize them by climate, by temperature and stuff like that. Like these tetra, for example, they would stay in a cold room. I prefer these fish to always stay at about 72, 73 degrees if I can help that. So, because look at how they're breeding. This is where in the wild, I think the temperature we found them was about 73 or 74 degrees. And that wasn't even really winter time. I mean, it was a little cooler time of the year, but it was not even snowing yet or anything. It wasn't cold out. That was just, anyways. Let's see. Trying to check out the chat here for a minute. I want to thank you all for hanging out with me for a little bit on Sunday afternoon. We got a lot of people. We got a lot of stuff streaming today. I know we had, Sharpie is streaming now after, in my old spot, I guess. So Sharpie was streaming after D from Down the Wormhole, and then I think, and Chris was before that. Sunday is definitely a nice full day of streams. Zen Ginger, thanks for the question there. Let's see here. The plastic divider works to hold the hornwort back more than anything, and to hold the duckweed. I have duckweed and frogbit at the top, and then there's the hornwort that floats on the surface as well. So the goal is to create one side of the tank that is more of a nice hidden spot, and that's where the female will lay her eggs, is up in that hornwort, and really mostly up at the top is what I've seen. I've also seen a female lay her eggs right on the glass, and that's how I got all the pictures and the images of the eggs. And that's another piece. I'm actually going to put out a video on the breakdown of those eggs all the way through as they developed from. I literally watched eggs go from one cell and just watch cell division from on my microscope right here at this desk. That's pretty cool stuff, especially to like sit in your living room and watch cell division and be able to film it for you guys in like high definition as well. because I have this new adapter here that I can hook up to the camera that I'm on now, and it goes right on the top of my microscope, so I can actually film in 4K at 120 frames per second through the microscope. Pretty cool. Let's see. Sunday fun day. That's funny because that's what we've always said here in the Caribbean too. You know, like Sunday is the day to go to the beach, go play volleyball at the beach. You know, make a little like picnic sack lunch thing and a little cooler, and you go hit the beach. The one thing that I don't like is Bluetooth speakers. Everybody can leave your Bluetooth speakers at home. I don't go to some beautiful, pristine beach in a national park, federally protected land, to have someone play Kenny Chesney on their Bluetooth speaker next to me. No. Leave it at home. I just do not agree with that. I don't know. There's just something to me about music at the beach. Maybe I'm an old fuddy-duddy. Especially here, it's so beautiful and I'm trying to enjoy it, and then I got somebody with playing Bon Jovi next to me, and I don't dislike these people, these musicians. I'm just saying, like, I did not come to the beach to listen to somebody else's music selection on their Bluetooth speaker. And they're waterproof, so they'll literally take these waterproof Bluetooth speakers out into the oceans. I can't even go snorkeling without hearing Kenny Chesney. Anyways. I'm on a rant today. I'm having a little bit of a rant today. OBS frustrated me, and YouTube is frustrating me. I'm not worried about my channel with this Coppa thing. It's other stuff with YouTube. I feel like that YouTube is definitely throttling my channel, or my content just truly sucks. To be completely honest, one or the other. If I go to my stream, if I go to my, Amber's like, shh, don't, stop talking. Now, if I go to my Social Blade page, it does not have me listed as a pet and animal channel there. So I feel like, to a certain extent, YouTube is not looking at me as a pet and animal channel, even though I am listed there in my settings. I don't know. There's something funny going on. Or my content just purely is horrible. just really sucking. That could be possible. I'm better at breeding fish. I do know that. I'm better at breeding fish than YouTube videos. I'll be honest about that. Let's see. Sharpie's Model Aquatics. How are you? Good to see you in here. I made part of your stream for a minute. I don't even say I was lurking while I was cooking breakfast late this morning, but I was listening for a second there. Let's see. Michael's Fish Room. How are you, man? Good to see you here. Welcome to the stream. If you care anything about the whole Coppa thing, it's at the beginning of the video. I ranted about it. Nobody needs to worry about it. Everybody just needs to relax. Just be responsible about your content. If you're truly a kids channel, then you're truly a kids channel. If you make a kids channel a kid video, or a video with a cartoon every once in a while, you don't need to stress out. FTC is not going to fine you $42,000 just like that. There's a lot of things going on. There's going to be a lot of revisions to all this. I guarantee, I'm pretty sure anyways, I bet that the FTC is going to revise this, if not right now, again very, very soon, to help clarify things about general mixed content that has to channels that do a little bit of kid stuff every once in a while, or kind of kid related stuff, or stuff that kids might want to watch, like adults shooting each other with Nerf guns. Yes, it's an adult channel, they're adults, but a 12-year-old might still totally dig that video, and it's totally like safe. Anyways, so I think that they're going to change things, and YouTube's going to change things, so everybody can relax on that. I think that YouTube is they're just scared. They got in trouble. They had to fix things. YouTube messed up, and this is their quick fix. It's not the first time YouTube does quick fixes. They gotta appeal to their advertisers, because that's their business. Those are their customers. That's where they're making all their big money. And they also have to appeal to the government. So they have to make their advertisers happy. They have to make the FTC happy. And we come last. We come last. No, not again. Anyways, so that gate works out really well just to keep the duckweed and the hornwort back and everything. The females will spawn their eggs, not spawn. The males inseminate the females internally, and then the female goes off and she spawns her egg. She lays her eggs. Lots of times on the other sides of the duckweed leaves, or up within the hornwort. And from my research now, having actually hatched the eggs under the microscope, it takes about 24 hours for the egg to develop and hatch. The fish really still don't even have defined eyes, like black eyes, when they hatch. It's really crazy. They definitely start out on infusoria, and they don't have like a huge yolk sac or anything like that. They really are working off of infusoria, and within a few days they're already free swimming if they feel comfortable and they don't feel like there's any predators or too many adults in the tank. They will start to free swim within the first week, and it's real. And literally, if I get them going properly, like I've done multiple, clutches and or groups and tanks here, and if I create the environment just right, I can have those fry on baby brine shrimp within the week, off of and I still do a mixture of live baby brine shrimp, microworms, and then the Hikari first bites, because a lot of the fry will hang out for a long time at the surface, grazing off of stuff sitting at the surface tension. So the Hikari first bites are just like constant grazing food, and the baby brine shrimp, if you put a nice chunk of that in there, it takes them a while to eat everything. Let me go ahead and throw, for the fun of it, give you guys a break from my voice for a quick second. I want to go ahead and throw some baby brine shrimp in this tank real quick. Okay. Bam, there we go. Everybody's happy about that. Look at all those little babies. Look at all those fry everywhere. And look at all the little tiny ones. Those little specks. I mean, now you're not going to tell the babies from the brine shrimp now, because literally some of those fry swimming around are about the same size. Some of those fry cannot eat those baby brine shrimp yet. But, they might just get one of the really fresh baby brine shrimp. They're really the tiniest, and they'll be able to eat one of those, and that they're good for the day. But that's better than nothing. I'd rather them get the baby brine shrimp than the Hikari, as some of their first meals, especially. Anyways, they're happy fish, and I love that little bit of that blue flash, that metallic blue flash. I'd love to have a tank with like 100, 200, 300 of these, and just have the nice highlight, and just have them like all turn in a group at the same time, and just get that flash, that pop from a huge group of them. William Jansen, I want to say thank you for throwing out the links. I appreciate it. The Teespring is where it's at right now. Teespring is I've actually been selling some of those shirts from the Teespring site still. I get a little email every once in a while. I get a lot less when it's sold through Teespring. They take a big chunk because they've actually, they're cutting out they've taken the time to promote my content to get it out there, to get it sold in the first place. So I think I get like $2, $2.50, I think, if I sell a shirt through Teespring, like just off of their platform from their personal advertising or whatever. But it happens every once in a while. 5 minutes, Mr. Joseph. Thank you, William Jansen. I appreciate it. This was supposed to be a long-winded rant about about this goofy Coppa thing. I literally have 4 pages of notes, and I was gonna drill you guys with all of that stuff, and I got through the first page and I felt really bad and I stopped. It's how much I like you guys. I'm sorry. I really there's a lot to learn about it. I feel like if you are a bigger channel, you probably have a lawyer, and you probably have your lawyer reading all this stuff for you, and you should. And you shouldn't be paying your lawyer if he doesn't read all this stuff. So what, Amber? You are killing me. I do see it when y'all roast me in my own chat. You know, you think I'm not reading any of the chat, but I do read a lot of the chat. And oh, no more Coppa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know nobody's gonna talk about it anyways, so I did it for everybody else. It's a dirty job if somebody had to do it. I'll never talk about it again. Yeah, Dansley. You're welcome. Oh no, I have earbuds. We can go back to music, Amber. You want to go back to music? We can do that. I mean, we can do. We got 4 more minutes. I can get some music going. Oh boy. All right, you guys don't forget to check out Aquafunk. Aquafunk is going next here. I'm gonna do some. I'm gonna be listening. I'll be watching for a little bit. I'm probably gonna. I'm gonna be around while I cook dinner. I'll be watching. And then you got Susie from Q Aquatics. She's gonna be going live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then King and Queen Cichlids are taking the night off, so you guys can catch them next week at 8 o'clock. But next week. Let's see. Ready for the cold weather in Vermont? Yeah, I'm thinking about just holding off on maybe a couple of months. I don't know. I've been told that I should try to wait until after after the northern thaw has been completed, and then mud season. But I met somebody yesterday from Vermont, or not met. I know somebody here that I didn't realize they were from Vermont, and they said that mud season can last up to 6 months. So good luck with that. I'm just gonna stay in the fish room. I'm just gonna stay in the basement with the fish. That's where you're gonna find me. Oh no, 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 no. All right, Rack, you take care. I gotta check out your. I'm loving your stream. I'm so glad you're streaming now, Rack, because I always thought you know, I've always wanted to. I've just always wanted to see you in front of a studio microphone doing your thing, because I feel like that's a you're good at it, and I just I'm glad that you're finally doing the regular live stream. Let's see what else is going up in here. We got a countdown, 2 minutes. Gonna go ahead and get out of here. I do want to say thank you to all of my supporters out, to all of my Patreons that are still supporting me, even though I haven't put up any content since Aquashella. Oh boy. But I appreciate all the support. It all goes into paying for the $120 a month internet, and that gives me this awesome live stream and the ability to get my videos uploaded. And that's pretty much where most of my YouTube, anything that comes from AdSense or anything, really goes to that internet connection. Because I'm not making that much off of YouTube or Patreon anyways. But I appreciate everything. I appreciate all the support. In the end, it just really, more than anything, it's motivation that just keeps me wanting to do this. And you know, there's that, and I do it for the fish. I do it for the fish more than anything. The fish for me, they totally come first in all of this. So you guys can definitely look forward to seeing a lot more breeding no matter what. And you know, there's going to be this whole couple of more than a few months here of me going, you know, migrating up north. But in the end, you guys know that there's going to be a lot of awesome content in the future when that happens. So don't run away. Anyways, I appreciate everybody. You guys have a good Sunday afternoon. And I'm going to go ahead and get out of here and go cook myself a nice dinner, because it's already getting 7 o'clock my time, because I'm living on a rock in the Caribbean. But thank you guys so much. You guys have a good Sunday. Enjoy the other streams. Spend some time with your family. And remember, guys, keep your tanks clean, your fish fed, and have fun.